Hey guys, Figurecraft here, and today we're going to be going over some more of my zoids. I've got the Kotobuki HMM Liger Zero here. We'll be going over him in a minute, but the first one we're going to go ahead and get out of the way is the Berserk Fury. This is the motorized one, the one that's completely motorized and walks all by itself. I'll go over the articulation and stuff like that on it. First of all, we got the cockpit that opens up. You've got the pilot inside the cockpit still yet. This little pilot thing lifts up. And then you can take out the pilot, which is the old pilots when they were not in color back in the day. And just set him back in there and then close this little steering stick back down. I forget what it's called. It's whatever they use to pilot it. The control panel, I think. This right here rotates all kinds of directions. And then you've got this one right here that completely goes forward like that. And then this one right here will back up and go forward too. And then you would have the Berserk Fury with his blades tilting forward. And then if you want to make it like it is on the show when he walks, you could flip his blades to go backwards. And then we'll get the other one the same way. I would adjust this. I apologize if I'm out of a little focus here. Adjust this. They do open and close too, and they do have this, I can't show it to you now, but I will here in a minute. They do have this spin where you can spin this and rotate them. You've got these jet boosters here that move up and down. I don't know if these open or not on this one. I'll have to look and see. Let me see here. Where's that? I'm trying that. Okay, it does. Okay, so right here, the jet booster, it will open. About like that much right there. And most of these opening mechanisms are motorized. And in this right here will flap down. And this will flap down. That's for the feet when it uses the charged particle cannon. And then I'll see if I can get him to work. Let's see here. He's got two settings on him. Let me just find... Okay, here's the button. Let's see if he still works. I think the batteries are still... Okay. We have some moving action. This is when he's walking forwards. You can see there he walks and his tail sways back and forth. And then if I were to grab him back here, try not to strip his engine, pull back on that. The second mode will be when he's doing the charged particle cannon. Basically these would open and close. These are for his charged particle cannon. I'll try to pick him up here and show you. You can see there. He's got the gun in his mouth. I'm going to try to get him in the charged particle cannon pose and turn him off. Alright, now that he's in the charged particle cannon pose, I'm going to go ahead and get his charged particle cannon up and going. So, first of all, I'll show this. You can put these forward. Like that. And then like I showed you before, you can spin these. These spin. They also open. Just like in the show. Which is what we're getting ready to do right now, because we got to get him to do his charged particle cannon. So, let me just get these as situated here. Like that. There's one. Tilt it the right way. Alright. I'll get the other one and then we'll get a better shot of it. Tilt this up. Tilt this up. And then we're going to open up this. Open up this. Open up this. Get it situated. Alright. And then if I were to turn him around, you can see there he is in his charged particle cannon pose. So he's got the charged particle cannon charged up. This looks like it opens, does it? Or is it just for looks? I think it's just for looks. I don't think that opens. Weird. It looks like it does, though. No, I don't think it opens. I think it's just for looks. You can see here we got stickers all over this thing. We got his jet boosters. I'll go ahead and I'll open up these two jet boosters and show you those. Also, we'll go ahead and pop down these jacks on his feet, which is what he puts down when he does the charged particle cannon. I'll get these vents open. There's one. There's two. Let me see here. The vents ain't nothing special. There's not really no detail in them. But they are on like a ball peg where they can swivel all kinds of ways. So I'll go ahead and I'll close them back up. These are the really old motorized Zoids. I used to have a motorized Liger Zero, but lost all the parts to it. Then I had the motorized Elephander that could do the two different conversions. Lost all the parts to it, so I'm doing good. But that's going to do it for the Berserk Fury. You can see we've got the Berserk Fury. That's going to do it for him. Now I'm going to go ahead and get him put to the side. Let me just try to sit him over here the best I can, so I don't damage anything. I'll close his little blades. Set him on this side right there, okay? Now we're going to go over the HMM Liger. Now, I do have all the conversions to this, but we're only going to go over one right now. This is the Liger Zero's big, huge box. This thing has a huge box. Let me sit you right here while I open up this box. Okay. And inside the box we have all of Liger Zero's components that makes up Liger Zero. And we have, you know, some over here. Most of these I put together with super glue back in the days. The super glue has turned into this. The Gundam marker that I used has gotten old over the years because I had this thing for so long. It's just some of the colors starting to fade, and I haven't had a chance to repaint any of this yet to get its color back. And then we've got the main body of the Liger Zero, which is right here. We'll go over it first before we even start doing the conversion, because you can do a whole lot more with the body when it's in its pose without the armor. That needs to be off his neck. Okay. So here's the Liger Zero. You have movement in the neck that can go up about that far. You can tilt his head down. You can tilt his head pretty far sideways because of all of the ball swivels and all that on this thing. You even got a ball swivel in the head. You can kind of turn the neck to the side back here somewhere. Maybe, or maybe not. No, that's the one that just goes straight up and down. It's right here in this one I'm thinking of, where you can turn it side to side. That's the one I'm thinking of. But you got that. You have these right here that are on like these hinges that can flap up, fold down. You just basically got to pull them up. And they can somehow... This one's probably stuck. If that one's stuck, I'll go for another one. That one's stuck. We'll go for this one. Like that. You pull it up like that. And you just swivel it back and forth. Then you just press it back down to lock it in place. That gives it more maneuverability for the giant ball pegs that's in the leg right here. You can move the leg. You can even, which is the reason why this is up, you pull this up, then you can move the leg more out, because the cockpit came open. Stay closed. I don't need to lose bit. But yeah, you can maneuver this thing right here. There you go. You lift it up like that. Then you can get a bit more maneuverability with the leg, but not by much, maybe about that much. Then it can go in like that. Goes back and forth. It can go all the way back. This thing's just like on a hinge joint that operates it. And all the legs are like that. Even the front ones are like that. But you got that. You have a joint right here at the back of the bend of the knee, where it comes up to about that far. This one right here will fold in to about that far. And it also has an extension in the leg, but the extension is sometimes hard to get out. I'll try to get it out. If it doesn't act like it's going to do it, then I won't pull it, because I don't want to break it. This is a very expensive figure to get a hold of. I paid like $100-something for this thing. But let's see here. There you go. You can see it makes the leg longer. And then you just press it back in. It's like an extension that makes the leg longer. You've got complete ball pegs in the feet. They can go all the way around. The claws that are right here, you can actually take your hand and, well, if they work. There goes one. It's been a while since I've done this. There goes two. But you can actually take your hand and press all of the toes individually in. They're just being a little stubborn right now. Ow. And let me tell you, he's got claws. I'll show you right here with the front. These are like a piece of plastic that's underneath these. These are like basically like a cover that sits over top of the silver plastic. And it makes it like claws. I mean, that's very sharp. Now, in the body, you have an extension that's kind of like in the body somewhere. Right there. It's up at the front. You pull that out, because what you can do, you can take his body, you can tilt it up, or you can tilt it down. And then if you don't want to do that, you press it backwards and lock it in place. And that way you can't pull it up or backwards. You have, in the top of the body, you have rotation in the back and rotation in the middle. Right there where it is, you can see you got full rotation in this thing. Which is pretty good. You get the most maneuverability when Liger does not have his armor on than you do when he's got the armor on. So once he gets all the armor on, he gets very heavily bogged down on articulation. Now right here to the side, you have this that'll pull out. If I can get, there you go. That will pull out on that side, and then on the other side, it'll pull out on the other side too. These are for his wings. Right there you can see that's for his wings. Go ahead and you press that under. He has right here in the bottom of his chest, he's got a gun feature. It can basically move. It can also swivel. But it also comes off his chest. That way you can switch the gun for another conversion. Now, one thing I will try to show, if I can't get it out, then I won't show it, but I will try. This right here in his chest will come out. This is the zoid core. And I'll try my best to get it out. Okay, we got it. Here's his zoid core. I painted this up. It's lost most of its paint, because back then I didn't know what paint would seal this stuff.
Oh, that's cold.
So that's what I've done. And let's see here, what do we got here? We have well, you can see there, one piece right here on me got dry rotted and broke. So that's okay though. I've got glue to fix it. So That's one of the things about these Kotobukiya zoids. They're very easily broke, but if you've got the means, you can very easily repair them. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this back on. I don't glue it to my hand. There we go. Fixed. And that's one of the things about taking out a Zoid core. But you can see that you've got pipes in this thing. That's his core. You've got a whole lot of detail going on in this Liger. And then here's his chest area where the Zoid core was. I painted it in there too. So I got it in there painted. I'm going to go ahead and test this to make sure it's... Yeah, it's dry. Now I'm going to slowly insert this back into there, try not to break it back off. Which, no, my luck, it'll break back off. And it's going to go at an angle. Come on. Do the right thing. There we go. Hopefully it stayed on. If it broke off again, it's in there. But we've also got the mouth opens up. You can see the mouth opens up. It's got these swivels right here, where these would swivel back and forth. These are for his whiskers on the side of his head. And the cool thing about these, when you open them up, they come with the pilot. So let me get the pilot out of here. Come on, Bit. Bit, come here. I've also painted inside mine on the cockpit. I tried matching the show. But anyway, you get the... here's the pilot, Bit Cloud. Let me try to zoom in on this figure. There's the pilot, Bit Cloud. Nothing too special, but he does look, you know, pretty good. He just doesn't have a face. But they've nailed the outfit and everything perfectly. So the outfit and everything has been nailed. There's the inside of his cockpit. Then we're just going to put good old Bit Cloud back into the cockpit of Liger Zero. And then we're going to go ahead and get that. And then right back here at the tail too, I forgot to show, it came off. That's okay. Anyway, you've got a whole lot of rotation maneuverability in this tail. You got like hinge joints in each of these bend sections. And in each of these sections right after the hinge, you have swivels where you can swivel the tail. Then you have a hinge right here at the tip of the tail, and then a hinge right there. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this tail back into here. It just snaps into a hole at the back. Hang on a minute, y'all. I'm recording here. They're going to bang into YouTube. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. I'm back. Yeah, he's on level right now. Hang on a minute here, y'all. Liger is very unlevel at the moment. Trying to get him back on all four of his feet. But we have a little wobbly problem here. Come on, Liger. Work with me, buddy. His back foot's off back here. Come on. What's wrong with this thing? At the moment he's unlevel and I can't get him level. That's alright though. Anyway, now we'll go ahead and we'll put all of his armor on him and then we'll look at him that way. We'll also talk about what all this armor has to offer. So the first piece that we're going to go ahead and put on, this is like a piece that goes on his neck. Nothing much to say about this. It's just a piece that just sits on there. It ain't got no movability or nothing, so you just take it. Got to turn it around. And it just sits right there. I'll go ahead and I'll get his under chin taken care of, so let me get that. That'd be like one of the hardest things. Okay, here you go. Here's the under chin. You had to basically build this thing separate. It's like a grill in a way, like a black piece that just fits into a white piece of plastic. And it forms like a grill piece. This is going to fasten on this bar right here with a hole in it. So, you're just going to take it, and you're just going to sit it like that right there. And then we're going to get his whisker pieces. Now, his whisker pieces does have some things going on with them. They've got articulation. Basically, just like in the show, these would open up. They would open up like that. And they would also flap too like that. So both of these do that. We're going to go ahead and figure out which one goes where. And we're going to get these on the side of his face. I'm not going to fasten them in all the way because these things are hard to get back off. And you run the risk of breaking pegs. So, I'm going to go ahead and slowly just barely get these on. Not forcing. Okay. Let me just get this straightened out. Like that. Get that one curved in. Okay, then you've got the two whisker pieces on there. Now, next pieces are some other pieces that ain't got too much articulation to them. They're just for looks. These are two pieces that goes on the side of his head. And those will fasten into these holes that you see right back here at his head. So I'm going to take the first one. Same thing, just barely putting it on there, not fastening it on. But I'm going to take the first one and I'm going to press it in place slowly, but not all the way, just like that. Same thing on the other one. You can see where some of these has really lost their color. So, working on it. I really don't want to push it on all the way because it's very hard to get these things back off if you do. There we go. Okay, those two will go right there. And then you have his two main side face pieces. You see this little hole right here. This little hole matches with these black ears that you see right here. So if I turn him this way, he's going to basically take this section, make sure it feeds over that hole. This one is going to be a bit stubborn, but we'll get it eventually. Okay, there we go, got it on. And then I'm not going to press it on all the way because I don't want it to fully lock and fasten. And then we're going to do the other side. I make it to where I can easily get them back off. That way I can, you know, switch out my conversions, because these things stick so good, and this plastic is not very, you know, built good, and you will easily break things if it's fastened on there too much. So I tried to avoid that. Now our next piece that we have is the headpiece. And this just fastens down into the top of the cockpit on like a little peg joint. And then the cool thing about it is when you get it fastened in there, you pull up on this, and that comes up like a hinge. So, okay, there's the whole head put together. There's Liger's whole head. So we got the head put together. Now we're going to start with his legs, which is more of a challenging part. We have this one right here. Not too much about it, just goes on the front of his paw. And we have this one right here. And these are basically just going to go onto the front of his paws right here. You got to make sure to feed them under this. And they got to find their location holes. And I'm not going to press them up too much because I don't want them to lock. Because these things are absolutely impossible to get back off if you get them to lock. So, I just barely put them on there. Just barely. Do not want it to lock. Just like that. And then we'll move to one of the back legs back here. We'll get that out of the way. So, our first back leg piece is these go down below where the paw is. So it would go right down here, and it would hook onto the joint right down there, not pressing it in all the way. I'm gonna go over here and hook this one into the joint. Not pressing all the way though, just getting it to where it just first starts to take place, and then we'll quit. Now our next one is the knees of the back legs. That's where it comes a challenge, because sometimes you have to bend the leg to get these on. These are the knee joints. So I'll try doing this. If it works, if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. It's right there. And I'm gonna barely, not too much force. There, push that in place. Just like that. And then we're going to turn him around to the other side. We're going to get our other knee joint. On there. Okay, there we go. Both knee joints are on now. Now we can do the other parts, which is right here. But first, before we do that, we'll have to do some other things. So, yeah. Give me a few seconds here, y'all, and I'll be right back.